Mr. Booth, let's get this straight. You refused to allow Mrs. Blundell and Mrs. Turtle to work in your kitchen until they apologized to Miss Penn. And they refused to clean Miss Penn's chalet until she apologizes to them.
Correct.
I've never heard anything so childish in all my life.
They were extremely rude to Miss Penn last night.
Yes, Mr. Booth, I know how rude they can be. I'm not blaming you. The point is, what am I going to do with them? To think I criticized John Crane for sacking Amy.
Oh, Amy's all right on her own. It's since Mrs. Blundell came she's been so awkward.
Well, I've got to find them something to do. I can't pay them for sitting out there in reception.
Well, there's still the chalets, with the exception of Miss Penn's, and the general cleaning.
How will you manage in the kitchen?
Oh, don't worry about me. We shall manage all right. Kathleen and Sandra are worth their weight in gold, and Miss Penn has very kindly offered to help out.
Oh, that's very good of her. Oh, by the way, any sign of that brooch of hers yet?
I'm afraid not.
Oh, dear. Well, I better go and tell Mr. Lovejoy the situation. He'll think I'm a complete fool, incapable of controlling my staff.
Now, you'll see she gets everything she needs.
Don't worry, I will take very good care of her.
Now, what I mean is, if there's anything either of you need, I'm here.
Well, as a matter of fact, there is something.
I thought there might be.
We want to provide as much security for the baby's future as we possibly can, naturally. I think I found a good chance of doing that. A hotel is on the market. I'd like to buy it. Would you consider leaving here and coming in with us?
Leaving the motel? Ah, is it a sound proposition?
Potentially, yes. Now, we should get quite a reasonable sum when we sell the pub. The bank is prepared to give us a bridging loan, but we're still going to be about 10,000 short of the asking price.
And you want me to lend you the money?
Only if you will come in with us. Now, you'll get the money back within 5 years. Look, I have it all worked out.
Well, we'd better have a look at the figures, hadn't we?
You'll find plenty to do, but if you find time hanging on your hands, you can always help out in the cafeteria.
Well, if we can't come in the kitchen, where are we going to have our 11s?
In the staff room, one of the waitresses will bring you a tray.
I see. We've been sent to Coventry, then.
Well, you brought it on yourselves, Mrs. Blundell.
Comes to summat, don't it, when the manager takes the word of the guests against members of his staff?
Right, well, I think I've said enough to you at the moment. I think you better get on with your work.
Good morning. I'm not too early, am I?
Oh, not at all, Miss Penn. Do come in.
I'm really looking forward to this.
Well, it's very kind of you to help out.
Any time, Mr. Stevens, you can rely on me. Now, Mr. Booth, what's this special recipe you want to try out for lunch today?
Goulash Budapest.
Oh.
It's all ready.
Oh, it looks great. What is it?
It's nothing very exciting, I'm afraid. Just another way of using up the remains of the leg of lamb.
Ah, darling, you're a genius.
Oh, no. Why does it always have to happen as we're sitting down to lunch?
Probably this Chad business.
Well, what's Chad?
Oh, that's marvellous, isn't it? Here I am, up to my eyes in Chad business, and my darling little wife doesn't know anything about it. Oh, good afternoon.
Mr. Hope,
Yes?
you don't know me. My name is Ross, and I'm on holiday here.
Oh, well, won't you come in for a moment? That's it. This way, please. There we are.
Oh, dear, you were having your lunch.
No, we haven't really started. Would you like some?
No, thank you.
Well, look, anyway, sit down. This is...
Ross.
That's right, yes. This is my wife. Mrs. Ross is staying in the area, darling, on holiday.
How nice.
Well, I'm not exactly on holiday.
Would you like a cup of coffee?
No, thank you. I don't want to be a nuisance. I was given your address by a mutual friend, Mrs. Gray.
Mrs. Gray? Yes, of course we know her very well indeed. How's she getting on?
Oh, she's very happy. Actually, I know her sister rather better than I do her. I was a nurse in the Winchelsea nursing home where her sister was staying.
Oh, well, you'll be able to give us some news of her then. We often wondered how she was getting on, didn't we, darling?
Oh, she's much better. In fact, the doctors are very hopeful of a complete recovery.
Good.
In time.
Oh, that's wonderful.
I hope you don't mind a stranger coming to see you like this, Vicar, but Mrs. Gray often spoke of you when she came to visit her sister. She told me how very kind you'd both been to her.
Nonsense. We were very fond of her. She was a very nice person.
So naturally, you were the first people I thought of when... The fact is, I need your help.
Come in.
Mr. Lovejoy, Paul's having more trouble with Mrs. Blundell and Amy.
Yeah, what's happened now?
Well, according to Sandra, they've taken off their overalls, sailed into the dining room and are ordering lunch.
Well, there's no law against it, I suppose. If they want to treat themselves to an expensive lunch, well, that's their business.
Yes, but I smell trouble. Miss Penn and Mr. Booth have spent the entire morning making some exotic Hungarian dish, a chef special. They've ordered it.
Oh, I see what you mean. Oh, well, I've no doubt that Paul and Mr. Booth between them can settle the situation.
Well, I hope you're right.
Oh, Mrs. Hope, can you spare me a moment?
Yes.
I wanted your advice as an old friend on a personal matter.
Yes, of course, Mr. Lovejoy.
Well, Nick has invited me to go in with a new venture with he and Tessa. They bought a large hotel.
They want you to leave here? Well, I certainly don't blame them, but well, I'm surprised that Nick's trying to pinch our chef. Meg won't be amused, I can tell you that.
No, I said they wanted me to leave, not that I'm going to.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I hope you're not going to leave, Mr. Lovejoy.
Thank you. It's funny, you know. Only a few weeks ago, John Crane had almost persuaded me I was ready for the scrap heap. And now look at me.
Well, I know how fond you are of Nick and Tessa, but remember, you mean a lot to everyone here as well.
There you are. 2 chef specials.
What's that supposed to be?
Goulash Budapest.
Looks more like shepherd's pie balsall heath to me.
It's what you asked for.
Oh, terrible. What do you think, Vi? Oh.
Ah, disgusting. You don't think we're going to eat that, do you? Take it away.
You're doing this on purpose, ain't you? There's nothing wrong with the goulash. It's been the most popular item on the menu.
I don't care what it's been. I ain't gonna eat it. Serve 'em right. I'll go bring something else, though. I'm hungry.
Have another bread roll.
I don't know what you feel like, but I'm enjoying myself.
I'd love to be in that kitchen. When she takes them plates back, I can just see Mr. Booth's face.
I bet he'll probably take 'em straight to Paul Stevens, you know.
Let him. I'm not afraid of that little whippersnapper. Ordering us out of the kitchen like a couple of school kids. I was working here when he was...
I understand you ladies have a complaint to make about my goulash Budapest.
We have. It was uneatable.
I'm inclined to agree with you, Mrs. Blundell. In fact, I hope neither of you actually tasted it.
Why?
I've been guilty of a terrible mistake. You know that tin of rat poison we keep in the store cupboard? I mistook it for paprika. And you know how heavy-handed I am with my paprika.
Oh.
Could you phone the police, please? It's urgent.
Oh, good heavens, what's happened?
Nothing yet. Ask for Sergeant Tidmarsh. And don't alarm anyone.
Hello, Miss Penn here. Would you phone the police for me, please? Yes, I'd like to speak to...
Sergeant Tidmarsh.
Sergeant Tidmarsh. Oh, hello? Is that Sergeant Tidmarsh? Yes, well, I...
Hello? Sergeant, this is me, Humphrey. I have to warn you, Sergeant. There's a bomb at the Crossroads motel.
Oh.
Yes, in the kitchen, under the stove. Yes, yes. Very well, Sergeant. Yes, I will. He wants to speak to you.
Hello, Sergeant.
What shall I do? Oh, are you sure? Oh, does he? Well, one can hardly forget something like a bomb. Oh, very well. If you say so. Yes, goodbye.
Ah, splendid, splendid. Now, Miss Penn, if you would attend
who's
to the
Humphrey?
Humphrey? I don't know why.
But he was here. Sergeant Tidmarsh said to ignore him, but apparently he does things like this.
Like what?
Like saying there's a bomb under the stove.
Oh, a bomb?
It's a foolish thing to do, of course.
Just a moment, Miss Penn. You say that this man called the police and said that there was a bomb
No.
under the
He
stove.
came in here and asked me to telephone. Honestly, Sergeant Tidmarsh did say it was a hoax, but he's coming up here all the same just to reassure us.
Good, good. Give him every assistance he needs. I must just go across to the cafeteria.
Oh, Mr. Booth.
No, I have things to do there.
Oh.
So you gave up your job in Winchelsea to come to the Midlands?
Yes, I saw this advertisement in the Nursing Mirror. A private convalescent home advertising for staff. The conditions and the money sounded so attractive, I applied at once.
But it didn't quite work out as you'd expected.
No, I'm afraid it didn't, Mrs. Hope. I hadn't been in the place 5 minutes before I was wishing myself back in my old job.
What was the trouble exactly?
Oh, the matron, a real autocrat. I could see we weren't going to hit it off from the moment I set foot inside her room.
But surely you'd met before, when you had the interview.
But I didn't actually have an interview. They were so desperate for staff. Anyway, I stuck it for 3 days, and then we had a row. I gave in my notice and left.
So now you're out of a job. Well, it shouldn't be too difficult. I mean, there's always a shortage for qualified nurses.
Well, I'm not really qualified, I'm afraid.
Oh.
I never completed my training.
Well, perhaps you could get a job as an assistant nurse or
Yeah.
a ward orderly or something.
Well, it won't be easy. You see, I'm not likely to get a reference now.
Well, couldn't you go back to your old job in Winchelsea?
Oh, no, I don't want to do that. For personal reasons. My husband. We're divorced. I wanted to get right away.
Oh, well, if there's anything we can do to help.
I was wondering if you could help me find some digs in the area. They'd have to be cheap. I haven't much money left.
Yes, I'm sure we could. When would you sort of want to move in?
Oh, tonight. I haven't anywhere to stay at all. I left my case at the bus station.
Well, you've ruined me love life. I hope you realise that.
Go on. How can we possibly have ruined something that never existed?
You still don't believe me, do you? Any of you?
Look, Vince, it's all in your mind. A beautiful dream.
All right, then, it's in my mind. We'll see.
Anyway, I better be off. I want an early night. Oh, Sandra, you fancy walking me over to the caravan?
All right.
I think I've got a bottle of Mouton Rothschild lurking about somewhere.
Hey, you're not going over to the caravan now, are you?
Yes, why not? You don't need it. You're on duty.
What if Veronica rings up again? Where am I going to take her?
Tell her you're see her in your dream, lover.
She's asking for trouble with him, you know. She's asking for trouble.
Sandra can take care of herself.
Well, I hope she can, otherwise she's going to find herself in a very nasty, compromising situation. He's not the sort of fella to be content with holding hands on the back row of the pictures.
Oh, look who's talking. You don't exactly spend your evenings teaching a girl to play dominoes.
That is different.
Now, you sure you can manage now?
Yes, we'll manage. See you in the morning, Mrs. Hope.
Don't work too late.
No.
Good night. Oh, good night.
Good night, Tish.
Ah, Nick. I've been thinking over this proposition of yours.
And?
For a long time now, most of my money's been invested in mining shares. Well, I think life will be more exciting if I sold them and invested in your hotel.
Oh, that's wonderful.
I could get the money for you by the end of the month. Would that be soon enough?
Oh, that'll be fine, and don't worry. Within 5 years between us, we'll get more out of this money than your mining shares ever would. The hotel has been neglected for years. The previous people just didn't realize they were sitting on a gold mine.
Well, from what you tell me, it can't fail.
Not with the three of us running it, it can't.
Ah. Well, I won't be there, Nick.
But I explained to you, the one thing needed to make it perfect was for you to come in with us, take over the catering side.
Yes, it's a nice idea, I know. But out of the question, I'm afraid. Mrs. Richardson wants me here.
But that is the only reason we asked you to invest in it. It's Embarrassing.
Nonsense. I can't tell you how happy you've made me. I should have been very upset if you hadn't given me the opportunity to invest in it. After all, as you said, it is a gold mine.
What's the matter with you tonight? As nervous as a cat.
I keep thinking I hear the phone ringing.
You do. It's been ringing on and off all night.
Kath, I need a drink.
Yeah, you do that. It'll maybe set on your stomach.
Why, what's wrong with my stomach?
Oh, the way you're going on, you're working up to a duodenal ulcer.
Yeah, I thought the Irish were supposed to be romantic.
Romantic? Whatever gave you that idea?
Well, all those warbling Irish tenors, I suppose.
I think you'll find that most of them come from Golders Green. Here you are, get that down. You can fix your mind on higher things.
Here, Kath, haven't you ever been in love?
Yeah, dozens of times. It ruins the nerves, something terrible.
Yes, you can say that again.
The Crossroads Motel. Yes, he is. Just a minute. It's for you.
Hello. Vincent Parker speaking. Oh, hello, Miss Tatum. No, I'm just feeling a bit tired, you know. Yeah. Oh, well, how many was it you wanted? I see. Right, well, I'll pick them up on my way to work tomorrow. Good night. Miss Tatum, she wants a dozen free-range eggs from the farm. Don't let me forget, will you?
Well, thank you very much indeed, Mrs. Dennis. Yes, I'm sure we'll find something. Okay, then. Good night.
Cake, Mrs. Ross?
No, thank you.
Well, that's my last hope, I'm afraid. Everywhere seems to be full up with visiting businessmen.
Oh, dear, I'm afraid I'm being a nuisance.
Of course you're not. Drink your tea.
Oh, don't worry. We'll find you somewhere, even if it is the local pub.
Oh, don't worry, Mrs. Ross. I'm sure everything will be all right. Look, help yourself to more tea.
Excuse me a moment.
Well, what are we going to do with her if you can't get her fixed up with digs?
I don't know, darling.
There's always a spare room.
I was hoping you'd say that. Are you sure?
Well, we can't turn the poor woman out into the street, can we?
No. Oh, you're a good girl.
Mrs. Ross, how would you like to stay with us for a bit? Until you find something more permanent, that is.
Oh, no, I wouldn't dream of putting you to all that trouble. It's very kind of you, but
Now,
really...
listen, it's no trouble at all. We've got a perfectly good spare room upstairs, and we'd be delighted if you'd like to use it.
Well, if you're sure...
Quite sure.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm so grateful.
Now then, your case. You say it's down the bus station, is that right?
Yes.
Well, you can pick it up in the morning, darling, on your way to the hospital meeting.
Yes, I could.
And I'll lend Mrs. Ross a nightie, and there's a spare toothbrush somewhere. We'll manage for one night.
Is that all right for you, Mrs. Ross?
Perfect. Oh, Mrs. Hope, Mr. Hope, you don't know what this means to me. You just don't know.
Come along.
Give me that.